Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we'll be starting from the flower base on the gown, and the first thing I'm going to be doing is to mark a point on this paper, and from that point I'll be marking 2 inches all around the point. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So that means each side of that point will be 2 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark it all around to form a circle. And welcome if this is your first time of stopping by. Hi, nice meeting you for the first time. Please consider subscribing to this channel, join the family, and to my also subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support. You guys know I really appreciate all your support, your comments, the likes, the subscriptions, the blah blah blah. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. God bless you everyone. And once I have gotten a circle of 2 inches on every side, I'll go ahead and cut this out. So this is what we have, and I'll go ahead and transfer this to my fabric. So for this fabric I have a soft net here. For the fabric I used 2 different fabrics. I use organza and then a soft net or baby net, whichever you understand at your own side of or at your own side where you buy your fabric. So I'll go ahead and cut out the exact measurement I have on my circle, and I'll cut out as many as possible and every other side. So I decided to transfer this to another fabric so that it's more visible for you guys to see, because I feel that lemon green was almost the same thing as my table. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. You see the way I folded mine? Please go ahead and fold yours so that it's easier for you. Instead of cutting one after the other, you just cut out many fabrics at a time or many pieces at a time. So once I am done, you can see it, and I have about 4 pieces of fabrics here, which I later cut out more. But for the purpose of this tutorial, let us continue. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to fold this fabric into 2, and then I'll be using my hand needle to stitch this. You can see the way I am stitching it, front and back and forth, whichever you understand. Just look at the video, you will understand what I am doing. So I'll stitch it, and then when I get to the end, I will then pull it out from the end, and I'll pick up another piece of fabric and I'll repeat the same process for this. So this is what we have after stitching. I'm sorry for the shaky we are meet and breaks, so a lot of distractions. So I'll go ahead and continue the same process for every other pieces of fabric. I'll be doing 4 for this. In fact, while doing this, there are some I did 3, there are some that I did 4, that on each base, flower base, should I call it flower base, I did 4, some I did 3, some I did 5. I was just playing around to know which is best, and I think I prefer 4 or 3 of it. So once I am done with this, I'm going to go ahead and stitch it down at the wrong side, from the wrong side, so that it's well kept together. And I'll make a knot on it once I am done. Once I am done with this, I'll go ahead and then make a knot and then cut out my thread, and then tie it afterwards. So this is what we have after I am done. So this is for 4. You can as well use your lighter to burn the excess fabric or the fraying at the back of the flower. So onto our bodies, you can see I am cutting my front and my back bodies together, and my fabric is folded into 4, and I have about 1.5 inches excess for my zipper allowance. If you've been following this channel, you must have known how we do it here. But if you don't, please look at the video, you understand it, or better still, leave a comment and I'll refer you to the video that you will get the full gist. So the first thing I did is to mark a straight line, and then from there I marked for it 14 inches. I marked 15 inches, 1 inch stitching allowance for my half length. And this style is for a 9 to 10-year-old. But just like I always say, please do well to measure your child, because yes, they are of the same age, sometimes they are of different sizes or measurements. So remember, our measurement is going to be starting from the center front, which is the first folding. I'll go ahead and mark 7 inches for my shoulder. So this 7 inches includes my stitching allowance, and I also went down by 7.5 for my bust point. Most time, once I do to get the children bust point is to divide the shoulder into 2 and then add ½ inch for ease. That's what I've been doing, and it works most times, unless for the exceptions of those that are very bigger than their age. So for my neckline, I am doing 3 inches by 3.5 inches for the front neckline, and as usual, or let's say most of the time, I am going to give it a round neckline. So I'll make my curve at this point. Once I am done with this, we are going to go ahead and mark our back neckline, and for this I am going down by 1.25, and then I'll connect it to the front neckline. And then for my bust point is divided into 4, which is 8 inches, and then I'll add 1.5 inches stitching allowance, or let's say do what works for you. Some will prefer to use 2 inches or 1 inch. Then I'll go ahead and connect my armhole measurement. If you haven't seen the tutorial of the basic bodies on this channel, please do well to check it out, or check the description box, it will be there. You will understand better this armhole I'm marking. So the first marking I did is for my front armhole, and then the second one is for the back one. So I'll cut out the back one first before cutting out the front one. Then for my shoulder slope, I went down by 0.75, and then I'll connect it to my starting point. Once I am done with this, I'll go ahead and mark my waist measurement divided by 4, which is at 7.5 inches, 8.5 inches, sorry. Just like I said, measure your child. Whatever measurement I am saying, it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is to insert your own measurement at the appropriate places. And that's basically all for this body. So I'll cut out the back neckline, the back armhole first, and then we'll separate it and then continue with the front one. If you haven't subscribed up to this moment, please, another reminder, do well to hit on the subscribe button, join the family. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, watch my ads, please. So I'll go ahead and trim off my front armhole and then cut out my back neckline, my front neckline, sorry. So for the back bodies, I'll be marking ½ inch around from the zipper area. I'll go up by ½ inch. I've done this a lot, so I believe that by now most of you must have gotten a hang of this. Then I'll connect this all the way, I'll slant it to meet my seam side. I'll go ahead and trim this off. The reason for this is because children have more tummy than adults, and because there is no dart, so that it sits properly at the back. So this is my fabric. I'm done cutting out the whole thing, and then I cut out my lining, and I am using the same fabric for my lining. If you don't have enough fabric to use for your lining, please do well to use your normal lining. I use my normal lining sometimes. So once I am done with that, I'm going to be doing front facing front. Remember, one piece is for my lining and the other one is for my main fabric. So I'll go ahead and pin my shoulders. So I'll go ahead and pin my 2 shoulders down, and whatever I do for my main fabric, I'll do for my lining. So once I am done pinning this down, I'll go ahead and stitch it by ½ inch, and I'll repeat the same process for the lining. So this is it after I was done with it. So we're going to go ahead and turn the neckline and then the armhole. So at this point, I'll also be doing front facing front, and I'll match my 2 seam sides together, making sure it matches. I'll pin that area down first, and then I'll do the same thing for the other seam line, shoulder seam line. I'll pin it down as well. Once I am done, I'll go ahead and pin every other side, and then I'll go ahead and stitch it from the back all the way to the front, and then to the other back. and also stitch on my armhole. Make sure you arrange your pieces well before stitching down. So this is it. After I was done stitching, I'll go ahead and make notches around my neckline and then the area that needs it at my armhole, and then I'll turn it to the right side. So this is what we have. Once I turn it to the right side, you can see how neat both the armhole and the shoulder is. And I've gone ahead to cut out my belt and stitch it down. I'm used to belts these days. So while attaching your belt, just make sure that you have ½ inch away from the seam line so that you'll be able to attach the lower part of the gown. So I'll close it up with the back bodice and then I'll stitch it down. I'll repeat the same process for the other side. I'll place my belt, leaving about ½ inch away so that I can be able to attach the lower part of the gown, and then I'll go ahead and close it up before stitching it down. So for my gather side, I am cut out my fabric and I have about 3 yards of this fabric length here, and then I took out my sorry for all the noise. So I took out my half length and then cut out the other one, adding stitching allowance. So what I did is just to hem the gather area and then run a loose stitch and gather it. So this is it after I was done. Then for the bodies, I'm done with it. I'll go ahead and do front facing front, and then I'll stitch it down from one end to the other. Remember, while gathering your fabric, don't gather your zipper allowance so that it doesn't make your zipper too bulky or bulky at all. So this is it after I was done stitching it down. The next thing I'm going to be doing is for us to, I almost forgot this the red design or the design on it. So I'll be using a bias fabric. You are supposed to do this before turning the bodies first, but I forgot it, and so what I did is just to top stitch it all the way from one end to the other. Then I'll close my zipper allowance and then attach my zipper, and this is what it looks like once I am done. So we're going to go ahead and attach those flower glue that you saw. So for the attachment, you can see what I have here. I have some colors, like about 4 to 5 colors there. I was thinking of attaching the same color at the same place, that once I am done with one color, I will start the other one. I don't know what to do at this point, but whatever that comes up after this, just know that that is what I decided afterwards. But what do you think? Which one do you think would have been better from your own end? Or should I do a mix-up colors? That's what I was thinking. So this is it after I was done. I decided to mix up the color and I hope it came out well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I added gold because I wanted to be extra these days. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share my videos, watch my ads, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I don't even know why she's doing it.